All right. Welcome back to the STR podcast, otherwise known as the Start the Rebuild podcast. I'm your co-host, Tim Fournier, alongside Ian Mills for the Kobe episode.
Yeah, episode
Episode
number
24.
24 here on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. It is Halloween.
It is Halloween.
It's Halloween. We've talked so much about Halloween though.
I
Like
know, but I have to do it again. I have to
we
do it again.
have to do it again. All right, let's hear your Halloween
Yeah,
story.
I'm coming in hot, right, with something to talk about right away. So we talked about it last week. Halloween coming up, blah blah blah. Last weekend was Halloween weekend, so costumes, blah blah blah. But I was out of town. I was going to a wedding, so not 1 second did I plan for a costume because I was like, I don't need one. I'm
Right.
not going to be here the weekend everyone's going out with costumes, so it doesn't matter. And then I just kind of like forgot that Halloween also exists. And then like last minute, last night, my friends were like, "Oh yeah, like let's go out to whatever and wear our costumes and like just go to like at the bar we always go to the chill place for like an hour or two. It's Halloween." And I'm like, okay, sounds great, but now I'm literally the monster that I said I didn't want to be, where like you don't have a costume and then you just like
Yeah.
put in the most low effort thing ever. And it's like this is literally not even like a night or a weekend going to a bar for like an hour or two tops. So like part of me is like maybe after this I should just like go to some store and buy some stupid costume, but it's like am I really gonna do that for an hour of time? So now I'm
Right.
stuck. Now I'm stuck because I don't want to go with a jersey, which
Okay.
I could do, but that's like worse than not wearing a costume, I feel like.
Right. It is. Here's a suggestion I have. And I think we talked about it a little bit last week that my big costume like 2 years ago was a cow onesie.
Hmm.
That was kind of
Sure.
expensive. I'm not saying do that, but get a costume that is like one part, like something that you're not gonna like. The problem with most of those Party City costumes you get, there's like 8 parts, and you wear them once, and then you lose half of them the next time. When it's like a one thing, a onesie essentially. No, I'm not saying get a onesie, but I'm saying getting something from Party City that has a lot like very few parts attached to it. So you wear it one time and then you have it for the future, albeit you have to remember you have it, but then you're sort of not wasting your money. Like if you buy something and if a $40 costume from Party City and use it for 1 hour, that's a waste of money. I would be mad at you if you did that.
Right.
But if you're doing it with the intention of saying, hey, like I can use this again for something, then that's different, you know? Or or one of
I
two
have
things.
I have two like DIY costume ideas.
Let me pitch something real quick.
Okay.
One is you get a costume that's associated with another holiday, essentially, right? Like a leprechaun
Mm.
or an Easter
Like be
bunny,
like Santa or something.
right? And then you have
But I
that.
don't wear costumes for the other holidays.
No, this Christmas you're gonna be Santa Claus for your little cousins, basically, is what I'm saying.
I really
Or
have an elf costume in New York.
I was gonna say I don't even know where my cat costume was. I was literally looking for it today to be like, oh, just in case I need a costume. I don't. I will not need a costume, but I couldn't find it. So all I have is a pumpkin shirt, which is what I'll wear. Me and my friends are going out to a bar, but not like a bar to go costumes, just a bar to get some wings, you know.
Sure.
Number two, jersey, but you got to go all out. You got to have the basketball shorts. You got to
Right.
have the headband on it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't have any of that.
And that's going to be
That's the
more
problem.
expensive.
That's the
That's going to be
problem.
more expensive.
Okay, well let me run the two DIY ideas by you and tell me if it would be better to literally just not wear a costume. So
Okay.
first, um, there's the golfer option where I have like a PGA golf short, a shirt, a PGA hat, khakis, belt, shoes. I have my golf clubs and everything, so I could wear a golf glove. I could have like a score sheet in my back pocket. I could have a tea in my ear. Like that's like okay, I think maybe, but it's also just like
This is kind
it
of
really
boring.
looks like you like might have just gone golfing earlier
Yeah.
or like you like golf and you put in the least amount of effort possible.
Correct. Yeah.
Other one, black shirt, black pants, shoes, black sunglasses, AirPod, and you're like a security guard type thing.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that one at all.
No, and they're not good options. It's like at that point, just like don't even wear a
I
costume.
don't hate the golf. I like the golf one. I don't hate the golf one. Just because people know it's low effort, but they know that like it is something. Like you're wearing something.
Right. They can be like, oh, he's a golfer.
He's a golfer. Yeah, like it's pretty easy to tell. I'm gonna toss this out there. It's easy for me to say it because I won't be the one. I don't have to wear this. I'm putting myself in someone else's shoes, but I've always wanted to do this. Is the classic bed sheet as a ghost costume. Throw a bed sheet on
Mm.
you, cut the eyes, dude. I think that is the funniest costume ever. And I've never seen anybody actually wear it, but it's always in every single like TV show. That I like that would I want to do that one year. It's just do that and make it a day because it'd be fun. But at the same time, I mean, you're buying a bed sheet, which is I guess if you get a cheap one, it can't be that expensive. That I think would be very funny, but that requires you to go buy something. Most unless you want to cut your bed sheets.
That's the problem. So I'm really stuck. Like none of these are good options.
No, they're not. You're only going for an hour or two. I think
Do I
low
just
effort.
go no costume? Like I
No,
literally just said in the last podcast, I was like, that's lame. But it's
don't.
like I am honestly not even sh I know like at least some of my friends are wearing costumes. I don't I couldn't tell you if I'm gonna be like walking into this place and I'm gonna be the only one without one. I just feel lame all around. Like maybe I should just go buy something.
I'm gonna actually ask because I'm going to a bar tonight, more like a sports bar, like to
Yeah.
watch Thursday night football with a couple of friends. And I'm wondering, are people going to be wearing costumes?
I feel like
And
there's no way you go there and no one's wearing a costume. I literally went to the grocery store and saw people wearing costumes today.
I'm gonna ask if, yeah, I went to the grocery store and someone and my cashier was wearing a costume. I'm gonna ask them, dumb question, do you think people are wearing costumes? And I'm gonna see what they say. And
If
then
you're
I'm
going with a group that isn't wearing costumes, though, it's like whatever.
that's a good point. That's a very good point.
But I know for a fact, well, I guess I only know for a fact two of the people out of the like five or six that I'm going are wearing costumes.
I think just
Let
yeah,
me throw out a text.
I think yeah, send a text. I think if that's the case, so then you can go low effort because then there's gonna be people who aren't wearing costumes. Damn, do I have enough time? I don't even have enough time to go to my storage unit, pick up that costume. So I'll have to wear my jack-o'-lantern shirt. It's a black jack-o'-lantern shirt. I'll throw a hoodie underneath it, get some wings.
That sounds electric.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's been fun, man. I've gotten finally like found my footing here. Both at work and in like social life. And have like kind of like a rhythm down as to what I need to do to make myself feel like I'm actually doing something. That sounds bad.
Sure.
Like I'm uh, making myself not die of boredom.
Sure.
Or like, because when I was doing my first month here, and I think I talked about it the last episode or episodes ago, where I was basically just like, I'm isolated. Like I was like, I'm isolating myself. I have nothing to do. And that's just because it's moving parts and like because I my only days off are Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's tough to hang out with people. But I'm finding a rhythm with that. So that's exciting. And yeah, excited to get wings later.
Where are you
So
going
that's
to get wings?
I think it's called the Winfield. I'd never been there. Um,
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Winfield Grill. Maybe I have been here. Oh, actually, I went here one time, like a month ago. Second week on the job. my coworkers after Friday night football were like, "Hey, we're gonna go out, grab a beer. You want to join us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I grabbed one, had one beer, one Jenny Light from
Let's
Winfield,
go.
and then went home and went to bed.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was electric.
Dude, I'm just scrolling on like Target. Dude, these are like expensive.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Like, am I really gonna get like a $95 Ghostbusters costume for like
Already said you
an
might have stuff
hour?
on. Already said you might have stuff on clearance though.
It's literally the day of Halloween, though.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like after today, everything go like they're not selling anything after today.
I guess that's true.
All right, pause real quick.
Pause.
I gotta use the bathroom so bad. I'm sorry to do this.
Should I just like solo run this?
I
I
don't,
don't really know. I guess you can pause this. All right. 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, we're back. Sorry for the pause there. Sometimes you just gotta deal with what you gotta deal with, you know?
sorry guys, I'm a human. At the end of the day, my gravestone will say Ian Mills,
Shit
human.
himself.
Damn near did it. You damn near did it, and you thought
Shit
you got away
himself on
with
the STR podcast.
it. You
For anyone that cares, absolutely no one does. Just texting with my friend. He's going as a golfer. So I guess the update is I'm going to do that too. I'm not necessarily proud of it, but I feel like if it's a joint costume, it makes it like a little better,
well, I
but
think it
still
makes
not good. But realistically, was I going to go drive to Party City 20 minutes, go spend like $40 on a costume to then drive 20 minutes back to go out with my friends and get like one drink and be out for an hour? That didn't seem like the best option either.
what drink do you think you're getting tonight? What's your
Realistically, a Diet Coke
fair
because
enough?
I'm not drinking until the marathon, which update on that is 17 days away. So it's really like, yeah, I'm locked in.
Fair enough.
Speaking of being locked in, I was just having this conversation, which we're just taking a full like 180 turn on this conversation.
For sure, dude.
But I've been very locked in on that. And I was actually talking to, so I have like a pretty good friend group going in Charlotte now, really like the people. One thing that's cool about it is there's a bunch of girls in the friend group, which is very cool because I normally just have not really had that ever.
Right.
Like, like a, like obviously friends that are girls, but like not like, that's like the majority of the group. I'm normally like one of like 8 guys in a friend group, and then like we know 2 or 3
Right.
girls that we're friends with. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was talking to them and I realized I have not talked to a like gone out of my way to talk to a girl that isn't like one of my friends in a while. And I think part of that is I'm just like very focused on like self-development type of stuff now. And then I'm just when I want to break from that stuff, I'm just like with my friends doing whatever. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I'm also kind of like, I don't know, do I need to change that? And I that sparked my thought on that because I'm just very locked in on like, the marathon right now and a bunch of other things, and I don't know. I don't know if I've gone too far one way or if that's, maybe that's the way to go, and I just focus on myself and eventually I attract something. But I don't know.
I feel like obviously, working on yourself is always a good thing. Always a good thing.
Sure.
Learning about yourself, figuring yourself out. However, putting yourself out there is, I mean, it's. I think it's a good habit to always like continuously grow.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Like when I
Uh,
want to really go after, like
right. Then
put myself out there, like I don't
yeah,
want I want it to feel so like alien either.
right. Yeah, it's tough because you're going to be like, oh shit, like I haven't done this in some time.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's good about my job is like you're sort of forced to put yourself out there. You don't really have an option.
Yeah.
So in every other situation outside of work, it feels like very normal to do. Yeah, but at the same time though, like how much of that is us just talking in our heads, like thinking like, oh, I haven't gone out like at a bar or walked up and talked to a girl in a couple months or however long it's been. And it's like, well, like, yeah, but like it's not like you can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like you're an adult, you've done it before,
Yeah.
grown man,
It's just like it just like hasn't even been on my mind at all.
which
Which
is
like as a
valid. And that's fine.
23-year-old single guy, like it normally is.
Right.
But I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like I'm locked in.
Locked in. That's what we like
Yeah,
to hear. It's
I'm
what we
locked
like to
in.
hear.
And then after this marathon, I guess gotta I like I guess where my headspace is at is I'm kind of thinking of like what's next after this marathon because I've been so focused on it. It's like, do I set a new goal? Do I make the goal physical? Do I like try to do something different, like learn a new language or pick up a new skill? And then part of me is also like, or do I just completely slow down and like, I don't know, try to have more fun or like, I don't know, work on a different part of self-improvement, which
I
I
think
think
it's yeah.
getting better at going up and talking to random people could be part of it. I don't know. I've just been very much like, what's next after this marathon? And I don't know if I should be like searching for
Now,
the next goal or if I should be like taking it slower. I don't know.
my thing is always this is all of the big projects, life projects, or career projects I've worked on in my life. I'm solely focused on this one thing and
Mhm.
doing that one thing and putting all my time into this one thing. And then when that thing happens, there's like a week, maybe a 2 week period where all I'm feeling is like the benefits of doing, putting that work in, right? Like the 2 weeks of, oh wow, like I did that. Like, oh my good, like I should be proud of myself. I'm happy with myself. Like setting yourself down and being like, this is incredible what I just did. Like, and I'm sure the marathon will be the same thing. There's gonna probably be like some type of euphoric feeling after, like, oh my God, like I did that. Like you did that. That's insane. And then there's gonna be a point in time where it's like, now what? Right? Like it's gonna
Mhm.
feel like, oh, but I mean, it's a human response, but like it shouldn't, it's kind of unfair to yourself. Like, no, you give yourself a break. My point in saying this though, after all those big projects that I've done in life or in or in my career, there's always been almost like a natural progression of the next thing.
Mhm.
Something pops up, or I have a feeling like an inclination, like, oh, I really want to do that now. Like there's some type of stroke of inspiration, like that's the thing I want to do now. When I was working in my high school football show that lasted, 4 months, and it was like 80-hour weeks for 4 months, and I was exhausted. And then like after we finished it, it was like the greatest feeling ever. And it finished like the beginning of December last year. And then it was like, okay, now what? As kind of Christmas came around, and then after Christmas, I was like, what if I do a documentary again? You know what I mean? And then it just kind of like something comes up and something
Sure.
does. So I guess my point of this is to say is like right now, that's like the last thing you should be thinking about, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair.
When it's done, give yourself some time to be like, oh shit, that's dope. I did that. And then after that, at that point, you can sort of find something or something will come to you.
Yeah, that's fair. And the nice thing about it is a week after the marathon, I'll be going home for Thanksgiving and I'll have time to kind of like reset.
Right.
But then like that's gonna bleed into then going home for Christmas. And it's like I guess I just have this like fear in my like deep subconscious that that's gonna like I don't know, throw me off somehow. Um, but
Yeah, I think like as humans we try to think that like breaks ruin our patterns or ruin our habits, and they really don't. Like I'll hear people be like, "Oh, I'm going to go on my diet or I'm going to start working out after vacation." It's like, "Why? Like do it now." There's no need. Like I understand the want to like be
no,
like,
that's
"Well,
fair
I
for
want to
sure.
ruin my vacation." And like my point in saying that, I guess is like, if your next goal is health related or working out, like realistically when you're moving around it's going to be annoying to find time to work out, but it's like you could, like you're gonna, like you'll have time, you know
Definitely.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I think it's easy to fall into that mindset of like, oh, like that's coming up. I'll just throw it away and figure it
Yeah.
out, like January 1st.
Yeah.
But I was literally watching a video of this kind of like fitness and health guy that I watch a lot of his content called Higher Up Wellness. And he was like, realistically, if you have like, I don't remember what the exact numbers were, but he's like Halloween's coming up and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Like if you go on the like highest end of how many days you're gonna be like completely off track between all of the possible parties, like on the high end, that's gonna be like 8 days. Say like Halloween, you do something with your friends, and then Friendsgiving and Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve and Christmas and New Year's, like it's like 8 parties, but it's over like um
3 months.
essentially a 2 to 3 months,
Yeah.
and that's 8 out of like 90 days. And it's like, why the heck would you just throw away 72 days for 8 days when 8 days are off track? Like, yes, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be as fast as you were perfect the whole time, but you can definitely make considerable progress. And, as someone who's kind of like been through this a bunch of times, even for me, that was very much like, oh, yeah, like he's right. Like, I've been worried because my next kind of thing, the reason I'm thinking a lot about this lately is I would like to get a little bit leaner. I
Right.
don't hate where I'm at right now, but I want to lose another like 10-ish, 10, 15 pounds and just get like really lean. And I was kind of hoping it would naturally happen with the marathon prep. But what I'm kind of learning is as yes, I'm burning a lot more calories, but I also have to fuel myself way better to like way more to
Mhm.
actually get through the mileage at the level that I want to get through it. So like I'll be burning a bunch of calories, but I have to consume a bunch to
Right.
like be able to perform well, even in excess. And then at the same time, it also burning that much more makes you that much hungrier. And it's kind of a wash in the end. Like I've been able to have a little bit more food flexibility, but like it's kind of a wash in terms of trying to lose weight because it's not smart to be in a calorie deficit while running like 40 miles in a week. Like my body was just like breaking down.
Yeah.
So the next kind of thing is I want to like spend some time getting back in the gym, getting my lifts better, and losing some weight. And I'm like, well, crap, this is gonna really eat right into Thanksgiving, and then I'm gonna go home for a few weeks, and then Christmas, and then New Year's. Like this sucks. But even as someone who has lost weight a bunch of times before, it was kind of nice to be like, you know what, like yeah, like I'm gonna enjoy myself on those holidays, but I don't need to just throw away 2 months for no reason.
Right. No, that's valid. Yeah, it's like the way I think about it is like it's sort of exactly what you just said. It's like if you're trying to lose weight or work out or whatever, even if you're doing it during this time of the year, like this holiday as we approach Thanksgiving and Christmas, like even if and you're still doing it, and let's say those 8 days bleed into 16 days because you go on vacation or something, whatever.
Hmm.
We were down to go on vacation, but I think people do it. You're still better off having done it. Because let's say you don't lose anyway. Let's say you're like, oh wow, I didn't do anything. I
Right,
didn't, I'm at the same spot I did when I started. I was like, yeah, but if you weren't doing it, you would have gained weight.
right,
You know what I mean? Like you would like so in retrospect, you actually are in a better spot than you were.
right.
And that's sort of the way I think about it is like whenever I'm eating healthy or trying to be in a deficit, because I've, you know, last couple of years really worked on being in a calorie deficit. And then there's months that go by and I'm like, wow, like I really didn't do anything. And it's like, well, it's actually it would have been a lot worse if I hadn't done this,
Right.
you know. Or
Right.
what am I doing wrong, essentially? You know.
No, yeah, that definitely plays a huge factor. And it's like you said, like if you do the math, like if you had just like not cared for those other days and you put on 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds from that standpoint, like yeah, you didn't make any forward progress, but you had a lot of damage control, which goes a long way too. And then for
Yeah.
me personally, like then I'm gonna get back in January and then I have my birthday in February, so it'll be like a really nice time where I can be like, okay, if I haven't made the progress I want, like this will be like the, good at least like month chunk of time where I can really lock in.
Right.
Um, yeah, but what's new with you? I feel like I just kind of like unloaded everything that I've been thinking about.
Well, I was in New York
Yeah, how was
City,
that?
Jersey. It was fun. We went to a comedy show. Get a phone call. My dad's calling me. Well,
Dude,
what's
Mr.
up?
Mills.
This one. It's like this. I'm sorry. I'm so unprofessional today.
Oh, pause. All right, what's that? Okay, we're back again.
So sorry again. I'm all over the place today. In New York City, in New Jersey. I'll make this is the more interesting, most interesting part of the story. Obviously, I was with my girlfriend. That was a lot of fun seeing her. We celebrated our 2-year anniversary. That was
Yeah.
dope. We went to New York City. Did kind of like a food tour, which is pretty cool. Like our own food tour. We made it
What was the best
ourselves.
thing you ate?
These tacos. We had these tacos that were really good. Los Tacos. I think it's a chain in New York City. Very good. We went to this Korean barbecue place that we did not realize was all you can eat. And we got something really small. Like we got like a like super because we were literally going there to just be like, oh, we're gonna do this and then go somewhere else. And we paid like we were like we asked for the check like after getting two very small things. And it was like $70. And we were like, how is that $70? And then we realized it was all you can eat. And we were like, oh, in our heads, we were like, if we didn't have somewhere else to be, we would have just stayed and eaten. That was annoying. Went to a comedy show
Yeah.
and we sat in the front row.
Oh,
And I was the victim of crowd work,
really?
big time.
How was that? Like a lot
Uh,
or like one joke?
no, like a good
Like
bit,
he
like
was just going in on you.
but yes.
See.
Essentially what happened was it was like I think she was like mid 30s woman, and a lot of her jokes were of the sexual nature.
Mm.
And she said something like sort of in a joking manner that like degraded women. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like she was saying it sarcastically, right? Like it was like hit it and quit it type thing. And so she saw me in the corner of the stage and went over to do like a fist bump. And I was like, I can't fist bump that because A, my girlfriend's right here. B, I disagree with what you said. And she's not saying it purposely. She's not saying it to be real. But if I fist bump her, then it seems like I'm agreeing with her. So it was like a whole
Yeah.
thing. I was like, I can't fist bump.
That's a lose-lose.
Right.
You
So I
either
just
fist bumper and you're like, yeah, like sexual assault, or you don't and you're like the guy that's like too cool to
exactly.
fist bump the comedian.
So I was like, I don't know what to do here. So
Yeah.
I panicked and did the snail,
Oh,
which was not a good move.
why not? That's electric. I mean, I guess it's a bad move to like play a joke on the comedian when you're in the front
Right.
row.
So
But,
she
like
did
you're not
that.
going to be able to respond to anything that they say next.
Exactly. So she
But
was
I
like, oh,
very much respect that. Like that was like high level chess, like
yeah, I didn't know what to
chess
do.
of like how to like accept the fist bump, but also like make it even more of a joke where you're not actually. That was nice.
But I appreciate that. Well, she was like, that's the most Gen Z shit I've ever seen. And then went on a whole like
I
rant.
feel like that's more like a 30-year-old joke
That's
than
what I
Gen
thought too. I
Z.
was like, I don't feel like that's Gen Z at all, but at the
No,
same time.
like that's what like my 35-year-old like second cousin would think is funny. But
Yeah.
okay, keep going.
So yeah, her whole and basically her entire joke was just like young man, inexperienced,
Oh,
probably. Yeah, you can pick up
yeah.
what I'm putting down.
And
And
she's
that was the
making
whole
fun of
joke.
like her expectation of your like sexual prowess.
Yeah. Basically, that was sort of the joke. And it just like she made like the one joke and it was like, oh, that's funny. Didn't think anything of it. And then she just like every 30 seconds, she'd like whip her head around and be like, and another thing. And I was just like, I'm just sitting here. Like, I
Do
don't want to be a part of this. I was like, but
you
so it
think
was
she
fun.
would have done it if you didn't snail it?
Oh yeah. There was no
I feel like she kind of decided like these are all I need is someone like a younger guy in the front row and like these are my 20 jokes lined up.
yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. She did the whole bit. My girlfriend was there and like, she was talking to her, like, oh, does he do blah 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 blah. And then what the whole,
That's
the whole
funny, but definitely uncomfortable.
it was uncomfortable. It was I definitely my girlfriend was definitely uncomfortable with the whole thing. I again it was like, yeah, it's funny. I just kind of wanted it to end because I was like, I feel awkward just sitting here.
At that
Uh,
point, you're like not even at the show for yourself. You're like, damn, like this is for everyone else's entertainment.
and then as she walked off stage, she like went to go shake my hand. And I'm just like, I shook her hand. And I was like, what do you like? Was this like a peace treaty? I'm like, you just ruined, like, you just demolished my entire ego. Which again, I
It's
actually
probably
wasn't.
like a thanks for being a good sport type
Yeah,
of
that's exactly what I wasn't offended by it by any means, but it was just like one of those things where I was like, oh, that was really awkward for like 6 minutes. My entire life
yeah.
was and so like, but overall, it was actually a really fun night and it was a really fun experience. But that was, yeah, that's right. I mean, that was a fun time just being in New York City, being with my girlfriend and taking a break from work a little bit. So
Definitely. All right. Well, I think we're gonna end it there. Do you have a quick goal for next week?
yeah. To go off of my goal from last week, which was to have a video out by end of week this week, that's gonna be done
Let's go.
later today,
I see
ideally
it.
later today slash early tomorrow, and that'll be
All right.
out. A bit of a, it's gonna be shorter, bit of a college basketball type of thing, experimenting with some new things. So that'll be out. I guess that's my goal for this week in the short term because it'll be done the next 2 days or so. Long term, maybe get another one out. You know, maybe make it 2 a week.
Let's
We'll see how I do.
go.
I haven't decided yet. How about yourself?
So I have a test on Tuesday that is going to be probably my hardest test yet this semester. So I guess it's study for, prepare for, and do well on that to the best of my ability. And then on Wednesday, I actually had like an interview uh yesterday for like an internship type of thing to do while I'm in grad school. And I have like I'm meeting someone else from the
Mhm.
company on Wednesday. So just I don't know, for that to go well and to get over that hump. And next week is the last full week before my marathon. So do all my runs, get ready, and yeah, big couple weeks for me coming up. So
Fair enough. Fair
if I
enough.
could come out of the month of November finishing a marathon and having a job, that would be electric.
That would be that'd be best case, and that'd be a great time.
It'd be a great time, but fingers crossed. All right, everybody. This was the Kobe episode. Can you think of another 24 very quickly? His buddy
Uh,
Hield wore 24 at
probably,
Oklahoma. I don't know if he
probably.
still does. He's on the Warriors now.
Yeah.
24 NFL player. There's got to be some type of running back or corner or receiver or something. Don't quote me on this, but
25.
maybe Derek Stingley's 24. I'm gonna double check that to see that, but I'm pretty sure Derek Stingley's 24. He is 24. All right, we got another one.
Woo!
All right, peace out, everybody. Have a good
Uh,
one. Like, comment, subscribe. Not our best performance today,
that's
but
on
not
me.
our worst. Not
That
our
was
worst.
on. That's on me.
I think we had some good conversation though.
I'm all over the place today. Next
Not-
week we'll lock in. Be even more locked in.
we're locked in, and but I think that's kind of our vibe. We're not about being perfect. Rizzler face. Perfect.
All
All
right.
right, peace out, everybody.